Call your next witness.
Jennifer Manning.
Please step up to the witness stand. You'll remain standing. Raise your right hand, face the podium.
You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
You may be seated. Please state and spell your first and last name for the record.
First name Jennifer, Jennifer. Last name Manning, Manning.
May I proceed, Your Honor? Thank you. How are you employed?
As a senior crime scene analyst with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department.
And we've had a couple crime scene analysts testify ahead of you, but can you give us your explanation of what a crime scene analyst does?
Sure. At first, we're requested to crime scenes by patrol officers or detectives, and our primary responsibility is for the documentation of that scene, which would entail detailed note-taking of the scene, photography, identification, location, and preservation of any evidence that we find. If there's anything to fingerprint process, we will process that. In major cases, we'll complete a diagram, and at the end of everything, reports are completed and turned in.
Okay, and you're a senior crime scene analyst?
Yes.
And we've heard testimony before that you have to have a certain amount of experience and proficiency in order to be a senior crime scene analyst?
Yes.
Do crime scene analysts attend autopsies?
Yes, we do.
What is the role of a crime scene analyst at autopsy?
So autopsy is really an extension of the original crime scene. It'll give us an opportunity to search for and collect any additional evidence that might be present.
Okay. On September the 4th of 2022, did you attend the autopsy of Jeff Gehrman?
Yes, I did.
Let me ask you, the crime scene or the body of Mr. Gehrman was discovered at his home on September the 3rd. Did you report to that scene at all?
No, I did not.
How was it that you came to be the person that reported on the 4th for his autopsy?
We have a rotation of crime scene analysts who can actually go to autopsies, and I was next up on the rotation.
Is it just kind of random?
Yes.
Okay. When you're the person assigned to go to an autopsy, I assume you go into work that day, and that's when you learn that you're going to be the person going to the autopsy?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. And once you realize you have that assignment, what do you do in order to prepare to attend the autopsy?
Well, when we get down to the coroner's office, we will log our visitation for that day, and for me it was autopsy that day. We do have lockers down there that are designated for LVMPD personnel that houses our PPE. So I would get gowned up in all the personal protective equipment prior to entering into the ID processing room.
Okay. And I assume at the coroner's office, you can't just walk in and say, you know, I'm here and I'd like to attend an autopsy. They have to let you in?
Yes.
Okay. And you said PPE, and I think we all probably know what that is. But can you describe what you wear for an autopsy?
Yes, I always wear a hairnet, mask. I wear a gown. It covers over 3/4 of my body. Booties over my shoes, in addition to gloves.
Okay. And when you get all, as you said, gowned up, what's the next thing that happens at an autopsy for a crime scene analyst?
So when we enter the processing room, I'll get all my supplies ready for the collection of the evidence that may happen during the autopsy.
Okay. And what are those supplies just generally?
So I'll do an envelope for the handbags. I'll get a larger bag ready for like the sheet, kind of like this size of bag. I will get little coin envelopes ready for fingernail clippings, swabs ready to do any sort of swabs.
And are there standard samples that Metro takes from an individual as they present at autopsy? Like standard evidence samples, I guess, from their body?
Yes, we always, well, I shouldn't say always, but typically, given the case, there's handbags on there, so we'll collect the handbags. We will do hand swabs. We'll collect fingernails. We also will take a buccal swab, which is a DNA sample.
Okay. And are you working with the coroner's office forensic techs in order to kind of get your evidence, and they're doing their job as well?
Yes,
And are you both separately taking photographs?
yes, we are.
Prior to you showing up at the autopsy, do you know what forensic tech you're going to be working with for the autopsy?
No, I don't.
Okay, so that's random too?
Yes.
Okay. When the body first presents at autopsy, do you take any note as to whether or not the seal of the body bag is intact?
Yes, I do.
And that's part of your responsibilities with Metro?
That is correct. So my first photography, my first photo of it would be to show the body bag and then to show that the seal is intact.
Okay. And then after, I assume the seal's broken, and that's when the processing starts?
Yes,
And then that's when you're working with the forensic techs?
yes.
And can you kind of describe how that, like if we were watching, what would that look like?
So after the seal is cut, the forensic technician will open up the body bag. We'll take a series of photos to show the condition of what we see.
The condition of the person?
Yes.
Okay. When you were at this autopsy for Mr. Gehrman, did you notice any defects or any damage to the handbags, or the bags that were on his hands or anything like that?
No, I did not.
Okay. And no problem, you didn't see any defects or signs that the body bag itself had been compromised?
That is correct.
Okay. So I assume you're taking photographs of this first step that you described?
Yes.
Okay. And then we've heard testimony that it's kind of done in layers. Is that a fair description?
Yes.
Okay. And so the first layer is just, I assume, how the person presents with their clothes on as is, or however they appeared at the scene?
Yes.
What's after that?
So after that is when we'll do the collection of the handbags, the swabs of the hands, the fingernail clippings.
And when you do the swabs of the hands, can you describe for the members of the jury what you're using to swab the hands and what area of the hand that you swab?
So it's a cotton swab that is in a sealed package. I would put 2 drops of molecular water on there, and then I would swab all around the fingers, the palm, around the nails, and the web of the hand.
Okay. And this is probably obvious, but I assume that the swabs are new for each autopsy, like everything's fresh equipment.
Yes.
And you swab all over all areas of the hands?
Yes.
And then I think you mentioned that fingernail clippings are collected as well?
Yes.
What does that look like? How do you collect those at an autopsy working with the forensic techs?
So the forensic technician will clean and disinfect a pair of scissors, and I'll be right there with them with a little coin envelope. And for him to, after he cuts each fingernail, it will go inside the coin envelope. I do one for the right hand and a separate one for the left hand.
Okay. And so it just goes right from sort of being clipped off the person into your envelope?
Yes.
And you actually are the person that observes them disinfect or clean the scissors that are going to be used?
Yes.
Okay. And then when you collect those envelopes of the fingernail clippings, what do you do with those?
I close that up and then I put it into a little bit larger envelope that we call a biological envelope, and I seal those.
Okay, and that's indicating that the substance inside the evidence bag is biological?
Yes.
Okay. What do you do with clothing of a decedent at autopsy?
So the coroner's office has clean sheets, so I will lay out a clean sheet. That's part of the one prepping process. And then after I get the buccal swab, then we will lay out the clothing.
In this case with Mr. Gehrman's clothing, how would you describe it? Was it dry or wet, or what did it look like to you?
It was saturated with blood and had a little bit of decomp fluid on it.
So decomposition fluid and blood on it as well?
Yes.
When you have clothing like that, how as a crime scene analyst do you address that in terms of impounding it as evidence?
So we have biohazard drying closets back in the crime scene. investigation section. So I would hang up the clothing and the sheet to dry, so typically will take 1 to 2 days to dry.
Okay. So in terms of the samples of like the hand swabs and the fingernail clippings, after you collect those from autopsy, I think you said they're in small envelopes, then in a larger envelope, and then are they in an evidence bag after that, or an
Yes.
evidence envelope?
Yes.
What do you do with that envelope in terms of ensuring that it's not compromised?
I would put in a red evidence seal on the back of the package. I would sign it the date that I am sealing it, and then my initials and P number.
Okay, and then where does that go?
We have a log, so we will log it back at the CSI section, and then we have a secure chute that we'll drop our evidence down into.
So once you drop that evidence down that chute, are you able, or is anybody able to grab that piece of evidence back up?
Supervisor and above would have access to the room.
Okay, and would they have to sign something saying, hey, I recalled an evidence envelope?
Yes.
Okay. Did you, after you dropped those swabs and fingernail clippings down that evidence chute, did you ever have contact with that evidence again?
No.
And as you left that envelope, it was sealed?
Yes.
Okay. His clothing that you talked about, that was in the, I think you called drying closets,
Yes.
what happened with that?
I was able to seal that up 2 days later.
Okay, so that would have been on the 6th?
Yes.
Okay, and to be clear, the autopsy was on the 4th, and so the swabs of the hands and the fingernail clippings would have been deposited into that evidence chute on the 4th?
That is correct.
And no contact with that after?
Correct.
And then we waited for the clothes to be dried, and then that was deposited on the 6th?
Yes.
Okay. Well, may I approach the witness, Your Honor? And I've shown these photographs, just for the record, to Mr. Droskovich. So, Ms. Manning, I'm showing you what's been marked as state's proposed 162 to 176. Could you look through those and just let me know when you're done, please?
Okay.
Looking through those, do those appear to be just a portion of the photos that you took at the autopsy of Mr. Gehrman and some of his clothing?
Yes.
State moves to admit 162 to 176.
No objection.
And then while I'm up here, I'm going to have you look at state's proposed 177 through 187. Do those appear to be photographs that you took of the defendant on September 7th of 2022?
Yes.
I move to admit 177 to 187.
No objection.
May I publish these, Your Honor? Thank you. Ms. Manning, I'm putting on the overhead what's been admitted as states 162. Looking at that photograph, can you describe to the members of the jury what we're looking at?
That is the decedent's right arm.
Okay, and it would have been obviously that hand, or well, you actually did it for both hands, that the fingernail clippings and hand swabs were taken?
Yes.
Both hands? This is states 163, which is just sort of a closer version, is that correct?
That is correct.
And no, I'm putting on the overhead states 165. That also appears to be the decedent's hand.
Yes.
And to be clear, it's the technician who actually, with the scissors, who actually cuts the fingernails, and then you hold your envelope waiting for it to drop in?
That is correct.
And that procedure was followed in the autopsy of Mr. Gehrman?
Yes.
I'm gonna put on the overhead now, states 166. What are we looking at in that photograph?
So this is the sheet that I was referring to, and then the clothing that was removed from the decedent.
Okay, and the sheet is in the upper left kind of corner of the sheet, of the photograph?
Yes, that is the sheet that was wrapped around the decedent.
Okay, and then that's the clothing he was wearing?
Yes.
I'm putting on the overhead now, states 167. What are we looking at there?
That is the shorts that were removed from the decedent.
And it looks like there's some car keys there, or keys, is that correct?
That is correct. There were keys in the right pocket.
Okay, and you photographed that as it presents to you when you're attending the autopsy?
Yes.
I'm now putting on the overhead, states 169. What are we looking at there?
That is the shirt that the decedent was wearing.
And now I'm showing you states 171. It still appears to be the shirt, but there are these yellow kind of markers on it. What are those?
Those are scaled arrows that we will put on an item to mark the potential areas for defects.
And by defects, it's something in the fabric like a hole or something like that?
That is correct.
I'm putting on the overhead now, this is probably a better one, states 173. Does that appear to be a closer view of one of those markers and a defect?
Yes.
And so by those markers, you're trying to draw the viewer's attention to where there's something in the clothing that may be noteworthy, right?
That is correct.
You also collected Mr. Gehrman's shoes.
Yes.
I'm putting on the overhead now, states 175. Do those appear to be the shoes?
They are.
Okay. And states 176 appear to be the backs of his shoes?
Yes, that is correct.
Now, after we talked about all of the evidence you impounded at autopsy, and I think you mentioned this, but I just want to double check. At autopsy, you also took a buccal swab of Mr. Gehrman,
Yes, I did.
and I assume that was to collect a DNA sample from him?
That is correct.
Okay. Now, I want to move forward in time to September 7th. On that date, were you asked to go to the Summerlin Area Command to take pictures of an individual?
Yes, I was.
And is that person Robert Tellis?
Yes.
You took a series of photos of him at the direction of Detective Gaddis?
Yes.
I'm putting on the overhead now, states 177. Is that one of the photographs you took of Mr. Tellis on September 7th?
Yes.
And when you were documenting his physical condition, do you have him like turn to the right, so you can get different aspects of his body?
Yes, we will take full body shots, the front, both sides, and the back.
Okay, and this is states 178, just another view, but more sideways.
That is correct.
States 179, the back of him,
That is correct.
and states 180. When you were photographing him, was one of the purposes of photographing him to note any potential injuries that he had on his person?
Yes.
Do you recall if there were any injuries to him?
There were a couple of injuries. He had a Band-Aid on the left ring finger, an injury on the left middle finger, an injury on the right ring finger, and a bruise on the right shoulder.
I'm putting on the overhead now, states 182. You said he had a Band-Aid on his left ring finger.
Yes.
Do you see that in the photograph?
Yes, I do.
Can you move that mouse in front of you and just kind of direct the jurors? Did you ask him or did you direct him to remove that Band-Aid?
Yes.
This is states 184, and that's the hand with the Band-Aid removed.
That is correct.
And this is states 186. A closer view, is that fair?
Yes, with our scale in there.
Okay. Were you also on September the 7th, did you also collect a buccal swab from Mr. Tellis?
Yes, I did.
And I'm not sure if we covered this, but what does a buccal swab look like?
So it's a self-contained kit. Inside the kit has 2 sealed cotton swabs. So you would take those out and swab one side of the cheek with one cotton swab and swab the other side of the cheek with another cotton swab. And then there's a little box that you would put the cotton swabs into. And after you do that, then you would seal up the kit.
So once you got his buccal swab on September the 7th, did you have specific instructions on what to do with it?
I was to respond back to the crime scene investigation section to get those impounded.
Okay, and was there any like sense of urgency or to do it quicker than normal, or you just were driving straight back? You would have done that anyway, or you tell me.
Yes, I was advised to head back to the CSI section.
Okay, as soon as you got the buccal swab?
Yes,
Okay, and you did that, I assume?
yes,
And that was, none of the evidence or his buccal swab wasn't compromised from the Summerlin Area Command to where you ultimately impounded it?
no.
Thank you very much. I'll pass the witness.
Cross-examination.
Yes, thank you. Ms. Manning, you were asked to bring that bag with you to court today, correct?
Correct.
And if you could inform us what's contained within that bag?
So inside this bag is a pair of jeans that I recovered from the defendant.
Okay. You brought that from the evidence vault today?
Yes,
I would ask her to lodge that with the court. Defense Exhibit A would be great. Thank you. Do you want to have her open it now? Or?
She wanted it open?
We intend addressing that later. I mean, by stipulation, we could, or state's pleasure. Absolutely. Sure. Since she's here, we'll take advantage. We could have her open it now, please.
Okay, all right.
oh,
Do you have a bag as well to bag it? Miss May, do you have a bag as well to bag it?
I do not.
Right in. Okay.
please, yes.
The jeans one, the belt will be A2.
You want me to open them? Okay.
Thank you, and if we could have the lodge up with the court.
No objection.
So are you admitting?
Yes, please, we'd move to admit by stipulate, yes.
They're on the table.
Mr. Jones, did you meet these anymore?
Today, we don't.
Okay.
No, thank you very much. Now, you photographed these pants, correct?
Yes, I did.
You were aware that those pants were taken from Mr. Tellis, correct?
Yes,
And they were taken pursuant to a warrant? to your
that is
knowledge.
correct.
Did you process those pants?
No, I did not.
I see. Turning your attention to the photographs shown of you of Mr. Tellis. We'll start with State's Exhibit 177. You took the photograph, correct?
Yes, I did.
You noticed no injuries to his, other than the one near his ring finger, any injuries to his arms, neck, anything like that, his face?
Not in this photo, just
Okay.
the ones on his hands.
And we were shown those just moments ago, correct?
Correct.
Same question, State's Exhibit 178.
That is correct. No injuries.
State's Exhibit 179.
The same.
State's Exhibit 180. Same question, no injuries, neck, arms, anything like that?
Correct.
And State's Exhibit 181.
The same.
Now, in this photograph, his shirt's off, correct?
That is correct.
And you took photographs of his shirt off as well, did you not?
I did.
But you've not been asked any testimony concerning those photographs today, have you?
No, I have not.
Do you recall what photographs, how many photographs you took of his bare torso, front and back? The rest of his body?
I do not.
You took several.
I did
fair to
take
say?
several, yes.
If we could approach the bench, please.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fine. Fair to say there were photographs taken of his body, correct?
That is correct.
That you then made available to the primary detective in this case?
Yes.
Okay, we'll get to those later on then. But you'd agree with me that you didn't see any scratch marks, any wounds?
Just the bruise on the right shoulder.
Okay, and again, we will have a photograph of that we don't have today, but it was a minor bruise, correct?
Correct.
Unable to say what time that bruise may or may not have occurred, correct?
That is correct.
No, so I'm clear, you were present for the processing of Mr. Gehrman, correct?
Yes.
And yet you were also present during the gathering of evidence for Mr. Tellis.
Yes.
There's a number of people that are in this rotation that you had made reference to that you just happened to appear for, correct, concerning the investigation of this matter.
Yes, that is correct.
Yet you, being a crime scene investigator, were present in reference to both gentlemen, correct?
Correct.
How many total photographs did you take of Mr. Tellis?
I do not recall.
Do you recall when these photographs were taken?
They were taking, I arrived at 8:25, so after that time.
In reference to the bagging of the hands, I'm sorry, the collection of the fingernails of Mr. Gehrman, approximately what time did that occur?
The bag was cut, the seal was cut at 7:25, and I was done with autopsy at 10:50, so sometime in there. You'd have to look up the metadata on the photograph.
You were not present at Mr. Gehrman's home, correct?
No, I was not.
You're not aware of who was, fair to say?
I know some members of my other squad.
Okay, but you're not able to tell us today, correct?
Was that for the search warrant?
Correct.
Stephanie Smithson was there, my supervisor, Moretta McIntyre, director, Kristen Gramis.
And that was at the execution of the warrant, correct?
That is correct.
Concerning Mr. Tellis, correct?
Yes,
And you'd also testified that once this evidence is put down through the chute, that supervisors have access to the evidence, correct?
correct.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
She's gonna have to sign.
If we don't, Miss Manning, if you can wait on break so we can sign over chain of custody.
Okay.